Hello guys, my name is Brudengst and today I'm going to be teaching you how to use LootTweaker for those who don't like to read text, aka the wiki, or who just don't understand the wiki very well for some reason. LootTweaker is a highly flexible and simple to use tool that is very helpful in adding some changes to the loot generated via mobs or structures to add a little bit of spice to the gameplay. It is recommended that you install CraftTweaker as well, just for detecting errors before executing the code. Before we start, consider subscribing to my channel by clicking the red button and leaving a comment while you're at it. It will definitely help grow this channel a lot. Thanks for subscribing. First, we need to dump all lootables into our directory by typing ct lootables all. This step is very important, as this is how we can access the lootables of all the mobs and structures. Go to your directory files. In this case, I'm using Visual Studio to edit this. Click on your scripts folder and then create a file called villager_loot.ts. Now I will be showing you how this code works step by step. First, you need to import some sources from LootTweaker into this script. In this case, we are using just 3. Next, we need to create a variable named villager_loot that contains our loot tables, which we are going to tweak via mobs or structures. The important part is finding your loot file path. This means that you need to check the dumped lootables that we generated in the directory a moment ago. Go to the Minecraft directory, then Entities, and scroll until you find your entity. In this case, I'm using Villagers Loot. Once you have found your desired loot table, take a quick look at its contents to check if it already has an existing pool. In this case, the villager loot table is completely empty. This means we need to create a new pool to add our loot. We'll take the existing pool that we stored and assign it to a new variable called villagerloot1. The add pool function is responsible for adding the new pool to the villager's loot. This step is necessary for adding unique names to your pool. Most loot tables in Minecraft use main and main2. Therefore, we need to check if the entity has a pool or not. The numbers next to the pool represent the minimum and maximum rolls. The 0 notation indicates when the player has the luck effect, but we will not use the luck effect rolls. The roll is used to determine the amount of items that should drop or spawn when killing a mob or finding random dungeon loot. In this case, setting both the minimum and maximum rolls to 1 will ensure that only 1 item spawns every time killed or looting a dungeon chest. Setting the minimum roll to 0 and the maximum roll to 1 will result in either 1 item drop/spawn or drop nothing at all. To add your item to the loot tables, simply add this line and enter your item ID. To get your item ID, simply type in /cthand and CraftTweaker will automatically give the ID in the chat box, and all you have to do is click and it's copied. This number determines the weight of the item, which affects how likely the item is to spawn. This works perfectly when you want an item to have a chance of spawning. For example, when killing a cow, it sometimes drops raw beef or leather. At this point, you might notice that I have added to pools. This is because I want the emerald to always drop when killed. The second pool determines whether to drop a bone or bread. In this case, a bone is more likely to drop than bread. In simple terms, if you want an item to always drop, just create a pool specifically for that item. If you want 2 additional items to have a chance of dropping, create another pool with a random name that is different from the first pool, which is for the item that always drops. After we have done altering our loot, next step is to type in /ct syntax to check if the code is working. If it does have some errors, it should note on where the error is for you and run the command again after fixing the problem and restart your Minecraft launcher. Okay, let's test the code. As you can see, the villager drops emeralds, and conveniently, the villager also drops bones and breads. Let's try another one. Here, you can see that the code is working successfully. To remove an item, simply type in this line and find the name of the entry if you don't know what I'm talking about. Here's an example. To remove an entire pool, find the line that is labeled name and not entry name. Here's an example. I will show you an easier way to view the loot. Place a command block and a button. Then, copy the code from the description or pause the video. As you can see, the chests generate the villager's loot. Now I will be showing you a demonstration on how I do this with a mob from Mighty Ender Chicken mod, which adds giant ender chicken and a version called Chaos Chicken. Now let's begin. Here's a quick view of the complete code. Here's some more example in adding and using an existing pool. That's all from me for now. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and leave a comment before you go. Have a nice day, and see you next time.